Chapter 18. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The person himself has a wonderful feeling of achievement as I walking deeper into the forest. The number of monsters I encountered also increased. Even so, hardly any goblin to say. Occasionally I encountered with such as a large scale tiger, after that only flying type monsters hovering above my head and nothing else. However, it doesn't work well. To be precise, I was holding back my power, but it's still too strong. Before I realized it, the goblin nest was in front of my eyes. Yua! Just how many is that? Wazoo! Wherever I turn my eyes there are goblin, and goblin. My vision was dyed with green. And then I noticed something when I look at them. Ha! If everything remained like this, perhaps I couldn't completed the request. Herbs were secured sufficiently before I came here. However, a goblin's right ear as a proof of subjugation request, there is only one. Sir, certainly I should aim at the goblin's body, because I crushed the head of 3 goblins from before, so it can't be helped. Why, I just realized it at this late. Somehow I feel like losing. However, it's no use crying over spilled milk. It will be a problem if I can't completed the request because I need the rewards money. Boo, but it's alright. Yeah, there is still a lot goblins for practice. I'm sure it will work somehow. Let's do it. 5 goblins' ears will be coming in an instant. I'd like to hit myself who thought so. I entered the nest and have already defeated more than 100 goblins, but there are no corpses with an ears that still remain intact. Although I hit the goblin with a little power, but its head still blown out. Damn it. And then after I defeated another 100 goblins. At last. I was able to defeat it while leaving its head. Hooray! I did it. When I happily swung my hands up, the goblin head flew from my hand and burst out. Arg, again. After being repeated so many times, finally I can get a grasp about how to control my power. Just then I noticed there was only one big goblin left before me. This guy is really big. His body is likely big enough to reach 3 m height, he wore inappropriate armor, his hand was holding a clunky sword, such as an iron lump. Judging from his twisted face, he seems to be furious. I began to count the ears that I could collected without minding him. 1. 2. A buzz sound from the clunky sword that the goblin brandishing approached me in high speed, but I continued to count while avoiding it with a little effort. 3. 4. The big goblin drew near me in an instant while roaring with his bright red face, but I didn't care. Just one more, also there is only one opponent left. My heart throbbed, but it's okay, everything will work out somehow surely. 5.6. Yeah, I did it. I found the remaining 2 ears from corpses that was overlap each other. Hooray! As I told you before that everything will be alright. Feeling happy and relieved lead me to be caught off guard. The big goblin took a large step and tried to attack me with his full power. The attack landed on a goblin's head from earlier. Bastard! What are you doing? You fools! Wazoo! I moved in front of the big goblin in lightning speed. Using a little serious power I counter-attacking the clunky sword that came at me. Boom! Goblin's head and a clunk sword burst out like trash and flying to the back of nest while leaving a hole. A remaining body had collapsed in place with a thud sound. Immediately I checked a goblin's head from before, safe, it's safe. One of a goblin's ear from before was crushed but the other one was safe. I'm collecting the goblin's ear with a knife made from monster's bone and leave that place. Goblin nest in the eastern forest of Fort City Rinneku was destroyed that day. If everything had been left as it was, a big flood of goblin attack will have occurred several months later which would have resulted in heavy damage to the city. However, it has ended without anyone knowing. The number of goblins which died was 638 in total. The last big goblin was an A-rank monster called Goblin King. Wazoo had brought back only 5 goblins' ears. Noel de Orlando greeted me when I came back to the city. I handed Goblin's ears and herbs to Emma. San. After finished the request completion procedure I went to Wind of Light Pavilion just as is. The rewards I received were several coppers and 3 silvers coins in total. Well, it's not bad. I paying 2 silvers coin to Lula for the inn fee. After I ate my dinner I went to the same room as yesterday and slept. On the next day I headed to the guild just before noon. Guided by Emma. Sen I went to a training field at the back of guild building. Upon entering the training field there was a big audience. I looking around and found Kayla. San, Lula, and Orlando among them. After leading me to the center of arena, Emma. Sen went back and sat down next to a man who was folding his arms. Is that her husband? Most of the audience seems to be adventurers. I remember some people which I had seen at the inn before. Does everyone have nothing to do? Or rather, they seem to come specially to watch this freak show. I waiting while doing some exercises. 3 people from Black Flame and Baldy came out from the training field's entrance I passed through before. Now then, give your best Black Flames, gentlemen. +++++ TL note. Uno re 0 anime has ended, clap. 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 Thanks for the hard work. For a fall season anime's nothing I was looking forward except Natsume Yujinchu S5. The heartwarming story, one of my favorite anime ****. If you have any suggestion or finding fault in my translation feel free to tell me, proofreader. Truffle ****. Chapter 19 You are listening at novelfull.audio. So this is A. Rank. While a large audience watched, we faced each other in the center of the training field with Baldy standing between us. These guys raising an unpleasant smile at me and then the red-haired guy move one step forward. Hey, don't tell me you are really going to do it. I heard you're just an F. Rank adventurer. It's better to stop now, rather than getting hurt. Being a coward is more preferable, right? Red-haired guy spoke these words while looking down on me. What are you saying? I'm here because I want to do it. If you don't understand that, you must be an idiot. Everything had been confirmed with you before. Because the audience is waiting, just hurry and prepare yourself already. Wazoo, we continue to move apart in accordance with the instructions. Baldy alternately looked at us and raising his big hand. Both sides remember that killing is prohibited. Begin. Reagan, after lowered his big hand, Baldy moved to the rear. Following that I returned my line of sight to the front. The green-haired guy approached me while poising his spear. Carefully and plenty, I will carve the fear of an A. Rank onto your body to educate that haughty attitude of your. Enough of that. If you have room to talk, why don't you just quickly attack me? When I avoided the spear, this time red-haired guy came to cut me with his sword. TCH, red-haired guy clicks his tongue. Perhaps he never imagined that such attacks could be avoided by a mere F. Rank adventurer. This time their attacks has been mixed with a feint, but still I can easily dodged it. I can see they are getting impatient. Although they have joined forces, there were no attacks landing. In the first place it's impossible for such slow attacks to reach me. But the pincer attack still continue for a while and suddenly these 2 people spring back at the same time. What happened? My fire is a countless melody, TL. I will use italic style for a chant. After the words finished, a lot of small fireball came towards me. Come to think of it, I had completely forgotten about him. I hit the empty air in the direction of the incoming fireballs. Every one of the fireballs had disappeared because of the wind pressure. On this sight, the blonde guy was stunned and red-haired guy was muttering something while glared at me. What did you do? Magic. No, is that skill? No, it was just a normal punch. I roughly understand their fighting style. Red-haired and green-haired guys with their respective weapons are working as vanguard. The magician blonde guy is working as rearguard. That's typical, I have finished analyzing it. It can't be helped, let's do it seriously. That said, we didn't know anything about the skill from earlier, but we can't lose to an F. rank. Are you ready? Zeka. Hamura, Glenn, I understand. Glenn. Zeka, it can't be helped. Let's do it, Hamura. Oh, speaking of which, I didn't know their names. Let's see, red-haired guy is Glenn, green-haired guy is Zeka, blonde guy is Hamura. Okay, I remember their names, at least for now. TL. Glenn, Zeka, Hamura, it's just a short time but we will forget about you. D. Now, are we serious at last? It seems finally I will be able to achieve my purpose. I provoked and challenged them to battle because there was a certain purpose. It's that I want to know of my own ability. It's necessary with the opponents from A. Rank, which is the upper class adventurer. I don't have any combat skill and my status are in texts. I want to know how far I could go. I was stronger than most monsters, but I couldn't say the same with humans. They can use magic and skills that monster can't. In this way I can compare my strength with other people and can grasp the difference of our status value. However, how I should put it. From the battle thus far everything seems meaningless. I felt the overwhelming difference between us. Be it magic or skills, but there are no effects to the battle. But maybe there will be something different when they are serious this time. They surrounded me while shouting, "Ha!" to raise their morale. I'm full of openings right now, when will you attack me? You will regret picking a fight with us. Glenn, red-haired guy, come at me with his sword. Although his speed is faster than before, I feel it come approaching me very slowly. I dodge it while monitoring the sword's tip movement. A spear is drawing near from behind but I change its track using my fingertip. Combination of sword and spear attacks had started, but it didn't even graze me. Damn it. Why didn't my attack hit? Even though my swordsman skill is level 7, Glenn, if I'm not wrong the maximum skill level is 10, that's pretty high to have. I continue to dodge it but just as suddenly they stop their attack and take a distance to join with blonde guy. They are lined in a row. Hamura, are you ready? Glenn, at any time. Hamura, oh. It seems they are about to do something. If it's so, I also have the last thing I want to confirm. It's simple, I will deliberately receive their attack to test my strength. My sword is bestowed with the power of flame, Glenn, the red-haired guy's sword wrapped in fire. Oh, is that guy a magic swordsman? How nice, it's so cool. Let's go. Glenn, the darkness stands before me, Hamura. The magic is cast on red-haired guy's command and an intense flash spreads in the vicinity. It's so dazzling, I covered my eyes with my hand immediately. I can feel the sign of red-haired guy drawing near. I received his horizontal /attack directly. Pak Kinham. Just now I heard such as break sound. Setting that aside, this time green-haired spear approaching. Burn. Flame spear. Zeka, you too. I thought so, but apparently it was just a gimmick from the spear itself. The fire sprouting from a spear's tip and wrapping me. Hear me, the sound of destruction, Hamura. After blonde guy cast a magic, there was a flame explosion from my surrounding one after another. Bedodem, how is that? This is the finishing move of Black Flame, triple. Glenn, fire. Zeka, attack. Hamura, LOL. Sabishii, the ground was gouged and scorched while a black smoke rise to the sky. I had checked my body inside the smoke. Despite received such an attack, there was no a single scratch let alone injuries. Even I didn't feel the impact of an attack, it still felt hot. What? My sword is broken, Glenn. Although I heard such words from outside a smoke, I continued to check my clothes. It was neither torn or burned. When I thought about it carefully, my clothes were made from the mountain's monster. In other words, the material itself are S. ranked. About those guys' attack, I didn't feel anything. Oh well, I have confirmed my abnormal strength, let's bring it to the end. While the smoke still surrounded us, with an ultra-speed movement I knocked 3 of them. Of course, since I was holding back properly, they are still alive and just fainted. After Baldy confirmed that those guys are safe from a distance, he declared my victory loudly. If you have any suggestion or finding fault in my translation, feel free to tell me, proofreader. Truffle ***. Chapter 20. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Neatly cleaning up after the mock battle, I heading back to Wind of Light Pavilion. On the way, Orlando spoke to me and Emma. San also introduced her husband. The other adventurers were noisy. Because we can speak any time, I leave the conversation little early. However, the situation didn't change much back at the inn. Adventurers are making noise in the dining room, because of that I ate dinner in my room. When I come down, everyone got more heated. Up. You are strong, said Kayla. San while smiling at me. When I met Lula, with sparkling eyes, she said, it was amazing. It had ended all too soon. According to Kayla. San, Lula was quite worried because she can't see me well under the fire attacks. Well, I did it on purpose though. Also, there is no need to worry with such fire attacks. Sorry for making you worry, I said so while patting Lula's head. I was sleeping while wrapped by hustle and bustle that comes from the dining room. On the next day I heading towards the guild because Baldy called me. I guided by Emma. San to the guild master's room. On the way she kept telling me, you are strong. My husband also was excited too. My excited husband was wonderful yesterday, the same as yesterday. I was at a loss for an answer. I don't have a lover, so my heart also received damage to hear it. Until arriving at our destination, I gave a half-hearted answer of yes or well. Con, master, I have brought Wazoo. San here. Emma. San switches over to a work mode and floats an usual smile on her face. Until just a while ago she kept talking about her husband like crazy. She opened the door and invited me to come in. Baldy seemed to just be finishing paperwork. We sat face to face on the sofa just like before. After serving us tea, Emma. San bowed before she left the room. Sorry for calling you today and yesterday, Reagan. No, I don't mind that. So for what reason have I been called today? Baldy, Wazoo, bastard. I'm not bald. I just shaved my hair, Reagan, I see. You are using that kind of excuse. You shaved it every day, is it? Even though your hair had already perished, Wazoo. Okay, you're doing a mock battle with me today, Reagan, it's a joke. So please put down your fist, Wazoo. I teased him too much. When I repented on my mind, bald, Reagan. San turned his face down while produced a serious atmosphere. A joke, huh? The kids from the neighborhood also called me bald. I didn't care at first, but recently Lula has began to doubted me. What should I do? Reagan, then grow your hair. Though I'm not sure if that's really the reason. Well, I'm not interested. But I was also feeling a little guilty for called him bald. Should I help to convince Lula? I understand. I will be careful as not to call you Baldy from now on. So is that the reason you called me? Wazoo, do you know about the forest in the east? If you go a little to the north from there, you will find the big lake next to a hill. I'd like you to investigate something there, Reagan. Why me? That's what I want to say. But Guild Master has personally requesting me, so there must be some kind of reason, right? Wazoo, the reason is simple. Originally this A.rank request was received by Black Flame that come to the city for this matter. But because they fought with some F.rank adventurer and lost in one shot, right now they are in the clinic receiving treatment. Surely their opponent which is unhurt can receive this request in their stead, Reagan, he. That sounds bad, Wazoo, I replied it while smiling. It was you. Reagan, I bet, Wazoo, because the matter about Black Flame is my responsibility, it can't be helped. By the way, if you take over this request and achieved it, the 30 gold coins rewards will be yours, Reagan. I will do it. Wazoo, thank you Black Flame. You guys had me beaten in good time. I will never forget you. Maybe. Well then I'm going to tell you about the content of the investigation request. 2 weeks ago a merchant that was traveling on the mountain road had reported that he saw the shape of a dragon at the mountain top. Besides, many reports about dragon roaring was heard also increasing. If that's true, I want you to find out the numbers, type, and its size. If possible I want you to subjugate it. Well, although your strength has already been demonstrated, don't push yourself, Reagan, TL. He is talking about a normal mountain, not that mountain, dragon huh. Well, no problem, Wazoo, there is no practical problem. When I was living in the mountains, there were some fellows which understand human language. Well, you can assume it as my friend maybe. I want a human friends though. I leave it to you. Because it's a sudden request, I will give you some time to make a preparation to some degree. How is that? Reagan, I didn't have any schedule in particular so I will going right away. Because it was A. rank, it must be have some higher urgency. I will going with Paypan and finished it with Swash, Wazoo. I won't say anything and just pray that I didn't choose the wrong person, Reagan. You are not wrong at all Reagan. San, Wazoo. I got up and left the room while saying so. When I closed the door, it had reached my ears. That guy finally called my name, Reagan. It was a happy voice mixed with a little curse. If you have any suggestion or finding fault in my translation feel free to tell me proofreader. Truffle ***. Chapter 21 You are listening at novelfull.audio. It looks familiar. I went into preparation immediately after leaving the guild. That said, I will just prepare some food and water into the bag that I borrowed from the guild. At the inn I asked Kayla. San if I can obtain some food and water. She just said, leave it to me, and retreated to the counter's back. Not long after, she brought some sandwiches with monster meat and water canteen. It's really a big help, thank you. I put away the sandwiches and water canteen into bag and left the city. First I went to the forest in the east. When I got there, I began to walk towards the north. However it's not with unusual speed. Otherwise, even with a horse you would need 4.5 days to reach the big lake. With my agility, it feels as if I just walked to my garden. Too fast, it was too fast. Since I found out about my status, I noticed that I could walk normally just as before, but when I desired it I could bring forth the power of my status. I didn't have any problem with this power so far. However I don't know the limit. I can't look at myself so I don't know how fast I am from others' perspective. Well, it is not particularly a problem. While considering such things, I have arrived near the lake. Speaking of it I didn't meet any monster. If it's about a goblin, they seem to be around. Because I didn't come for that I will leave them alone. I sit down at the lake's shores and take out a sandwich and water canteen from bag. Now then, let's take a break. When I stuffed the sandwich in my mouth, some noise came from the forest near the lake. Occasionally a breaking sound can be heard. A sound of something being chased or attacked. It's gradually getting closer and I can see a mass of white as big as my head leaping out the forest. Following it, a monster with 2 heads and a snake tail appeared. With its body around 3 m in length, it was a dog monster called Orthos. Apparently this Orthos seems to be trying to eat the mass of white. The mass of white popped out wings such as bats and tried to flee by flying. It doesn't seem able to fly high and was in a dangerous situation. I was looking at the scene while eating my sandwich. But suddenly the mass of white changed its direction and flying towards me. It looks familiar. While thinking that, the mass of white struck my chest. I didn't feel any hostility so I accept it without any resistance in particular, although I was surprised. I attempted to check what the mass of white was, but before I could Orthros appeared in front of me. Jarr! It was growling and raised their drooling mouths at me. I wonder if they thought it was catching a big prey. After wiping drool with its tongue, one of the head opened its mouth. Be quiet. Wazoo, Dagon, I stopped the movement of Orthros with one arm as it was slammed to the ground. Good grief, don't disturb people's meal. I throw the rest of sandwich in my mouth. I confirmed the Orthros which seemed dead because I forgot to hold back. What a frightening force as always. Asterisk munch. Munch. Gulp asterisk I swallowed sandwich inside my mouth and peeling the mass of white which was still attached to me and brought it in front of my eyes. Kyow. The mass of white was looking at me and crying. It has a body such as reptile. Despite looking sturdy it has childish characteristic. Large black pupils as if sucking the light. While it's small, there are sharp claws on its hand and feet, also sharp teeth. A long tail and its body surface is covered with beautiful white scales. The one I'm picking and lifting now certainly is a white dragon. I mean, it looks familiar. Could it be? Are you Meru? Wazoo, Kui. Kui. Meru, she was nodding happily. Oh, do you understand human speech? It's definitely Meru. What are you doing in a place like this? Meru is the daughter of a dragon's couple back when I was live in the mountain. It's a simple encounter, we got close to each other after fighting. The married, couple both understood human speech, speaking was also possible. At that time the husband said. Gwaha. Why is there a little human in such place? Let's beat and crush him to kill time, so I rushed and silenced him. Now that I think about it, my status was abnormal at that time. After that, I came to apologize but was turned away by hands gesturing only. And then I was introduced to Meru. I remember the couple always complained about each other. What was that again? If I remember correctly. The husband's name is Black Dragon Ragnar and the wife's is White Dragon Meryl. Ragnar who had proclaimed himself as Dragon King. I was remembering, but... Isn't your home in that mountain? What are you doing here? Wazoo, Kui. Kui. Meru, it is useless. I do not understand. Are you together with Ragnar and Meryl? Wazoo, Kui. Meru's small hand pointed at the mountain top and tried to beckoning me to come with her. So the rumored dragon was you guys, Wazoo, I letting out sigh and heading there with Meru on top of my head. You can see Meru picture at TOC page. If you have any suggestion or finding fault in my translation feel free to tell me, proofreader. Truffle ***. Chapter 22 You are listening at novelfull.audio. The white dragon, wife, has been hurt. I'm heading towards the mountain summit by walking. On my head Meru was enjoying herself, lays around while loosening her limbs. Well, it doesn't matter since I'm not particularly felt any weight, but how about giving me some guidance? That said, right now I was standing in front of a cave near the mountain summit. I felt a huge presence from inside, however there was only one. Just one. Well, I will know upon entering the cave. There were no traps. Before long I come to the innermost cave where the white dragon was lying. It's Meryl, a huge body around 8 m in length that looks strong and supple. The scales on her body surface shine suspiciously white. Combined with her golden eyes, it's no exaggeration to call her the most beautiful dragon in the world. Meryl smiles with relief, but when noticing that someone was with Meru she stood and raised her vigilance. After realized who I was she is back lowered her guard down. You are that boy. Meryl, long time no see, Meryl, Wazoo, oh you could talk. I was worried you couldn't because you never uttered a word before, Meryl, sorry, there were a lot circumstances at that time. Wazoo, is that so? I won't pry any deeper, once again may I know you name? Meryl, my name is Wazoo, sorry for everything back then, Wazoo, I said so and lowered my head a little as not to drop Meru. After raised my head I begun to explain the situation. I met Meru a short while ago near the lake when she was being attacked by Orthros. I don't know about the details because I don't understand what she is saying, Wazoo, thank you very much, also sorry for the inconvenience. My daughter Meru, can you tell me what happened? Meryl, Kui. 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 Meru. I see. Probably while finding unmanageable leisure of running after a bird, she seemed to have strayed into the forest and steps on a snake tail of Orthros. I'm very thankful to Wazoo for saving my daughter, Meryl. You have an energetic daughter there. I just happened to be there so don't mind it, but please be careful for the next time, Wazoo, I lightly stroking Meru's head. I will pay more attention to Meru from now on. By the way, why is Wazoo in this place? Meryl, you see, apparently some people saw you guys. I came here to investigate whether there was a danger. So I'd like to ask, what are you doing here? Your home in the center mountain, isn't? Also I didn't see Ragnil anywhere. Wazoo, TL. Wazoo called it Center Mountain because the mountain where he was live before was located in the center of continent. There is no specific name so far. That man. Meryl, Her look becomes severe for some reason. Had Ragnil done something? When I was giving Meru a ride on my back and strolling through the air. Meryl, gulp, he was having an affair with a young daughter of a red dragon, Meryl. Ha. Wazoo, ha. What are you doing? That guy. Even though he had such a beautiful wife. What the heck was he thinking? L.C. So I came back to my family home together with Meru, Meryl. Home. Did you mean this place? Wazoo, nobody lives here. To be exact, it was the place where I spent my childhood. I have contacted my mother and I am waiting here, Meryl, ha. Really, what are you doing? This couple. I wonder if it's really the best option to be separated. I think it's better to reconcile and go back to live together in the center mountain. I know it's not my business, but why don't you reconcile? Wazoo, not happening. Unless he comes to apologize to me, Meryl, I figured well, Ragnil was in the wrong here. Ha. Is that all? It can be solved if Ragnil comes to apologize. After I heard it I couldn't just stay still. Even though it's safe right now, if everything's just left as it, maybe some knives will be sent to subjugate her. I have to make a move as quickly as possible. Ha. Can't be helped. It's troublesome though. I will talk to Ragnil, so please don't make any commotion because it won't be good. If possible, I will bring him here to apologize, Wazoo, we will. I have no right to stop you, so you may do as you like. It's absolutely not because I want to meet Ragnil, Meryl, if it's so, don't blatantly show me such joyful face. Her face turned red while her body fidgeting. She was easy to read. I gently put Meru down from my head. I mean, she was sleeping all this time. Is my head really that comfortable? I gently stroked Meru and turned my attention towards Meryl. She was busy polished her scales cheerfully. She really can't hide her feeling, this wife. I didn't promise to absolutely bring Ragnil here, so please don't expect so much. Well then I'm off, Wazoo. Meryl, hey, it's good to take care of your appearance, but at least give me a reply. I left the cave and headed to Central Mountain while spiting a sigh. Chapter 23. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Dragon King, let's apologize. I left the cave and was heading to the abode of the Dragon King that's located in the center mountain. I was running lightly from the cave. After some distance I started running a little more seriously. The scenery rapidly changed. Down the mountain, through the highway, into the forest, going up the mountain. The mountain. Specific climate change had begun. From frigid to burning, but I was in hurry and didn't have a time to mind it. Well, it's just insignificant for me who was accustomed to it. I hopped up as to not lose my speed. After passing the cloud that decorated the mountain summit, the climate began to stabilize and it was time for the sun to set already. It takes a few hours to come up here. Maybe I should spend the night at Ragnall's place. If I remember correctly, his home on this way. In front of my eyes there was a huge building. A majestic white castle with a huge gate. This place is the abode of Dragon King. I entered the castle casually. It's been a long time since I last came here. At that time I was brought against my will. I progressed further, not long after I arrived to the throne room of the White Castle where Ragnhild was. Yo. Long time no see. Wazoo. What are? Oh, it's you. So you could speak. Ragnhild, husband and wife had a similar reaction. Ragnhild is a black dragon with 12 length muscular body. Glossy black eyes and scales that covered his body as if sucking the light. From his head there are 2 large horns pointed sharply. But now he seems to be a little haggard. Wazoo, that's my name. Because it's troublesome I will get to the point. Are you cheating on your wife? Wazoo, ugh. How could? You can read my mind. No, did you hear it from Meryl? Where is she now? Ragnhild is looming over me. Too close, he was too close, could you move a little away? What are you going to do after see her? Wazoo, of course, I will bring her back. Ragnhild, how? Wazoo, I am Dragon King, she would listen to my words and return. Ragnhild, haa. This guy is no good. He didn't understand his situation. It's not about your status. It's a matter about woman where the reason doesn't work. I don't have a lover, I was dumped by Arya and Sirona. It might be unreasonable for present me, but I couldn't help saying. Also, this Dragon King is my friend. First of all, let's hear the story from his side. Apparently things aren't what they seems to be. Because it seems a young female red dragon persistently kept inviting him for a meal, he reluctantly went with the other dragon. But when he noticed it, there was only the 2 of them, and at the same time Meryl had witnessed it. You have been set up. Perhaps the other dragons also worked behind the scene. That's a pretty carnivorous system of dragon. No, they were carnivorous to begin with. The real problem is the red dragon Corel. She was a beauty with a nice body, from a dragon's perspective, so Ragnhild had an urge to look at her. As a man I understand your feeling, but the situation is getting worse. Anyway. For the time being let's apologize to Meryl. Wazoo, why should a Dragon King apologize? I did nothing wrong. Ragnhild. Wazoo, this guy's useless. Haa. First of all, the matter about you being the Dragon King is not related to the problem, Wazoo. Ragnhild, this guy. It shone all over his face that he didn't understand. Should I beat him? Ah, that's right. How about we look from the reverse point of view? For example, Meryl was having a meal with a young male dragon together, only the 2 of them. Wazoo, what did you say? I will kill him. Tell me, where is he? Ragnhild, calm down, it's just an example. And then you saw the scene and decided to run away from home. Wazoo, TL. Just like a certain someone, man, look at yourself. D. I see, Ragnhild. There Meryl came and said, let's go back, without apologizing first. Will you forgive her and come back home? Wazoo, Ragnhild was imagining it while placing his hand on chin. I will never forgive her. Or rather I would getting furious. Ragnhild, right. In other words, what you are going to do will make the situation get worse. Wazoo. You are right, Ragnhild. It seems he somewhat understood the situation. Thanks God, it seems I managed to explain it somehow. And, that's the reason I have came here. Tomorrow I will bring you to meet Meryl. Will you apologize properly? Or rather you should apologize. Wazoo. I understand. I can't bear just to imagine it. Meryl must have been hurt. I will obediently apologize. Will she forgive me? Ragnhild, it's all right. She was busy worrying about her appearance when I told her I would bring you. It's as good over there. So, what are you going to do with the red dragon? It will be troublesome if the same thing happened again someday. For example, could you introduce her to someone? Wazoo, I see. Let's introduce her to some young and promising person that suits her. Ragnhild, well, I will leave the matter to you. More importantly, don't forget to apologize to Meryl first, okay? Wazoo, I know it already. Ragnhild, after that we had a silly talk about our current conditions with each other and slept. Later, Wazoo would succeed Ragnhild as the new Dragon King and the beautiful red dragon would be there by his side. Ragnhild introduced Wazoo to the red dragon and by her family suggestion, the two of them ended up getting married, then they lived in harmony as a family. Although it has become the first step for coexistence between human and dragon, for Wazoo it was just a way for Ragnhild to free himself from all the troublesome things and pushed it all to him. On the next day Ragnhild was riding atop my hand. I lifted and held him firmly. What kind of situation is this? I have a bad feeling about it. Ragnhild, don't worry. Because I have been involved with your couple's problem, let me do this much at least. Okay, here we go. Wazoo, I said so and begun an approach. Run. Wait, it's impossible. Ragnhild, fly high. Ragnhild. Wazoo, I was throwing Ragnhild towards the mountain where Meryl is. Chapter 24. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Oh. Their number is increasing. After throwing Ragnhild, I come down from the mountain in a hurry in aiming towards Meryl's place. To be frank, I don't want to get involved with their problem any further and just want going home already. But there is a matter about the request, also I'm little worried about this couple. I ran quite seriously, so I have arrived at the lake before noon. The trees in the vicinity were blown down, the ground was scooped out, and at the center there was a big vacant hole. As if something big had crashed in that place before. No problem. I nodded and went to the cave where the married couple should be. I stood in front of the cave's entrance and noticed something strange. I can feel 4 presences within the cave. Ragnhild, Meryl, Meru. Who is the other one? I wondered if it's their acquaintance. Who cares? I entered the cave without thinking too deeply. I almost shouting on the scene in front of my eyes. There was another white dragon beside Meryl that was similar to her. Compared to Meryl her scales were a little darkish, but there was a dignity overflowing from her that can't be compared with anyone in this place. Speaking of which, Meryl had said that she was waiting for her mother at this place. Maybe this is her mother. Meru is cradled by the white dragon and seems to be sleeping. On the other hand, Ragnhild in front of Meryl and her mother was. He was on all fours. He placed his head on the ground skillfully. I wonder why. As the fellow man, I almost cried looking at him. I averted my eyes at the distance place. More importantly, are you still alive, Ragnhild? That's right, it must be tears of happiness to see you in good health. Yeah, I'm sure. Probably. Okay, I have confirmed his safety and the problem has been solved. Let's go home quietly before they noticed me. Kui. Kui. Meru, asterisk whoosh. Patatata, asterisk Meru, which suddenly got up, was flying towards my direction, so I stopped my steps. How did you notice me? And then I turned my line of sight cautiously. Oh, are you Wazoo? I heard about you from my daughter Meryl. Well done for bringing this stupid husband of my daughter. Hello. Wazoo, I say so while lowering my head, and Meru moved to the top of my head with Mashimosho. Hey, I didn't bowed for that. Ignoring my feeling, Meru started to loosen her limbs atop my head. Has it become your exclusive resting place somehow? Ha ha ha. It seems Meru really likes you. I heard from my daughter and the silly person over there. Yes. Wazoo, what is it? I am being appraised. Fumo. Even I can't tell the limit of his strength. It's as my daughter said, I can leave Meru to him without worry. Wait. What are you talking about, mother? Law. I didn't remember accepting it. Ragnil, shut up. I don't remember allowed you to speak. Besides, who said you can raise your head? His objection has been dismissed. With a perplexed face, he placed his head back on the ground. Hang in there, Ragnil. I'm sure you will be shining tomorrow. Well then, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Megal, I am Meryl's mother and the former Dragon Queen, also I am the dependable grandmother of Meru, Megal, my name is Wazoo, former Dragon Queen. No wonder she was so majestic. Wazoo, actually I have a little favor to ask, will you help me? Megal, well, depending on the content, but... Wazoo, it's a simple thing. Could you show the outside world to Meru? I want Meru to learn the world outside the mountain. However, for a young dragon, I do not know if there will be any danger. But if it's you. Megal, in other words, escorted Meru. Wazoo, nothing like that. I just want Meru to stay with you for a while, and if there is danger I want you to protect her, Megal. Wazoo, I don't mind in particular. But I wonder if it's all right to separate Meru from her parents. Don't worry about her parents. My daughter had approved of this matter, so there is no problem, Megal, you didn't need Ragnil approval. In addition, when it's rare, Meru has mastered space magic. I think it will help you a lot, Megal. Wow, it means she can use the item box that people talking about. With this I can store any items freely. Although there is a bag with similar function with this magic, on contrary with its high price, the amount of items you can store inside is limited. But this is an infinite storage when it comes to the magic itself, also the time is stopped inside the item box. It seems there is no human that can use this type of magic. Certainly it will be a big help. Is this really all right? Wazoo, according to this couple, from your behavior, you are not a bad person. And above all else, it's because Meru really likes you, Megal, understood. I will protect Meru, Wazoo, that's great. About this couple's problem just leave it to me because I will keep monitoring this idiot. You can return to your home right now, Megal. Ragnil has a hopeless expression on his face. I'm sorry Ragnil, tomorrow, you won't be shining as well. Well then I will excuse myself. Meru, you won't see each other for a while, how about say a goodbye first? Wazoo, Kui. Kui. Meru, Grandma will be waiting for you. Good luck Meru, Megal, good luck. Meryl, Kui. Meru, looking at Megal and Meryl grasp their fist to cheer, Meru also clenches her small hand to imitate. While I was not looking, Ragnil continued crying with a guegu sound without uttering any words. I went out of the cave immediately after placing Meru atop my head and leave. Good luck with your life Ragnil. Without encountered any problem, I have arrived to the location where I can see the city's entrance. I continue to walk while feeding Meru fruits that I found on the way here, but somehow this place is getting noisy. Chapter 25 You are listening at novelfull.audio. Magen, Demon, Orlando. Did something happen? Wazoo, I had returned to Rinneku City. Because I saw a familiar face, I asked about the situation to him. Since earlier there were many people that are going out of the city in a hurry, as if trying to run away from this place. Oh Wazoo. On the other side of this place. Dr. Dragon. Orlando, it's all right. Well. How should I put it? Wazoo, crap. I had completely forgotten. Orlando has already took a battle stance. What to do now? Don't tell me the dragon is a familiar. Orlando, a familiar. If I remember correctly, it was a contracted monster to help you in battle. Good, let's use that as an excuse. Well, something like that. Probably. Wazoo, Kui. Pesha, Meru is hitting my head with Pesha. Are you protesting? Stop, it can't be helped, you know. Ha. To have a dragon as a familiar, you are amazing as expected. That's right. You better put something as proof of your familiar, you don't want to attract unnecessary commotion inside the city, right? That said, it still bring commotion because it's a dragon, Orlando, thank you. I will think about it when I have received my reward. Wazoo, Orlando passed me a red band from a bag that was placed on the simple desk behind him. I accepted it. I try to put it on Meru's neck just as is, but she shakes her head unwillingly. What do you want me to do? Although I don't know whether my thought was transmitted to Meru. She got off from my head and abruptly drew a picture, such as the butterfly on the ground. Oh, you want me to make such form? I get it. Yes, I understand. Meru is a girl, she also wants to dress up beautifully. I tied the red band in the form of a butterfly on Meru's neck while struggling. She flew back to my head after satisfied with the result. And then Orlando, I heard a lot commotion since a while ago, what on earth is going on? Wazoo, that's right. On the other side of this place there was a plane, and over there Majin had appeared. Also there were 3 of them. At the moment, a adventurer group of B. rank or more had gone to subjugated it. I don't know how long they will last, so I am trying to evacuate the citizens right now. Orlando, Majin. Wazoo, Orlando was surprised when I asked him what a Majin is. According to what I heard from Orlando, Majin is an ex-human which is said to be a minion of evil god. This is a result of a human body making contact with a space called Magic Reservoir where monsters are born. While the status are greatly increase, you will be dominated by a destruction impulse and run out of control. Currently there is no means to turn it back into a human. They had been made a target of subjugation right now. It seems Orlando could tell if a person had turned to Majin. As for myself, I can't imagine what it looks like because I don't have the slightest idea about it. I went across downtown and hurried to the plane where the adventurers fought with the Majin while thinking the information over in my mind. Abandoning this city is not an option. It's not my hometown, but some of my acquaintances are living in this city. I thought the adventurers which were in charge of guarding the other city gate would stop me, but they let me pass by smoothly. Apparently they know me because of the mock battle the other day. I had arrived at the plane. In front of me the battle has been carried out by around 20 adventurers. They are surrounding the 3 Majin together, because of that I can't confirm the appearance of those Majin in question. From what I can see, rather than challenge it aggressively, they are devoting themselves to defensively fight in order to buy time for citizens to evacuate. I found Reagan was issued commands at the place lit behind from adventurers. I approached him to ask about the situation. Reagan. How is the situation, Wazoo, oh Wazoo? It's great that you have come. Dr. Dragon. On your head. Reagan, this again. I came to ask about the current situation, just tell me already. We are barely holding out so far. But the opponents are bad news, I don't know when the balance will collapse. Reagan, huh? What do you mean? Wazoo, do you know about Majin? Reagan, a little while ago I heard the basic things from Orlando. Wazoo, that's good enough. To put it simple, the person itself was already strong before turning into a Majin. Now it's become even more troublesome because of the status rise. Reagan, in other words because they were already strong since the beginning, right now they are getting stronger. They woke up yesterday and left the city. I thought they had returned to the countryside. But this morning, I heard from a peddler that Majin was heading to the city. I ran to the guild at once and gathered the B. rank or higher adventurers to oppose the Majin as soon as possible, but... Reagan, they. Wazoo, he turned his eyes to a direction where Majin and adventurers fight with a bitter face. Those three Majin are the former of the Black Flame bunch, Reagan, ha. Wazoo, plus 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 plus. Chapter 26. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. The end of Black Flame. On Reagan's words, I recalled the three guys from Black Flame. How was their face again? I only paid attention to their hair color, so I couldn't remember it. Well, if Reagan says so, it must be true. Their origin are A.rank adventurers. To make it worse, currently there are no people that can match their raised power in this city. Our hands already too full just to hold the battle, but... Reagan was looking at my face. To be honest, I didn't think you would come back this soon. Did you hear about the news and decided to abandon your mountain investigation request? Rain, don't be silly, I had finished it properly. But when I came back, the city was already in this state, Wazoo, ha. It takes a few days to travel from the city to the mountain. Are you serious? Reagan, you did hear me. The evidence is the dragon atop my head. By the way, there will be no danger in the mountain anymore, Wazoo. Absurd, I should quit applying common sense to your action. Your power is... Reagan, oh that sound like I don't have common sense. How rude. Tell me the details later. You hear? Reagan, no problem. I wonder if Kayla.san and Lula are still in the city because I will be in their care again. I want to rest quickly, Wazoo. Reagan nods once at my dauntless smile. He judged me as a strong adventurer. You lot. Open the way. We will end this quickly. Reagan, the adventurers look back at Reagan's angry voice. After confirming my appearance, they are opening the way. Should be the first time I saw Majin, but... I'm feeling déjà vu with their figure. I think, I have seen it somewhere before. They are nothing like a human anymore though. The red eyes, cracked face as if broken, swelled up limbs with nails that sharply increased and extended. That's right. Their figure is similar with the guy I fought back in the elf village. He had looked better than those three though. Just to make sure. Are there really no means to turn them back? Wazoo, well. At least don't make them suffer. Reagan, I can't give any reply to Reagan's grievous expression. AAA.GAA. They even seems to have no ego anymore. When the six red eyes noticed me blocking their way, they swung their big claws at me together. Gaia. Just as Reagan asked me. At the very last, I will end their suffering with my power. I finished the three of them in single blow. Farewell Black Flame. I said so in a low voice. TL. Ugh, something get into my eyes. Why don't they just disappear quietly while leaving a memory about them doing that stupid combination attack? A few days have passed since the Majin uproar and the city was already regaining its usual vigor. Although I just wanted to rest quietly in the inn. Every day, the adventurers who were in this place always talked about my fight with Majin in the day until night. About how I finished them with a single blow, etc. Honestly, it's embarrassing. I can't eat in ease. Meru was recognized as my familiar. They were surprised at first, but soon enough Meru has been accepted by the Popol. Adventurers were spreading rumor about how I defeated Majin and saved the city. Because of that, people are regarding me as a hero. I think this fact has playing a big part with how people have easily accepted Meru. When I walking down the street, the children stop by and try to give sweets for Meru. Even the adults that own stalls also give me a little service. I have asked Kayla.san to prepare a meal for Meru in the inn. Although Lula had tried to feeding Meru, each time she refused and only want to eat from my hand. Please give up already because I think it's impossible. I told Reagan that I had chased away the dragon in mountain. It's because the fact that they probably wouldn't be there anymore. Since Orthros also was there, I told about this guy as well. And thus the investigation report completed and I received 30 gold coins. Uhahaha. I keep a few gold coins for myself and stored the rest inside Meru's space. Time magic. I have nothing special to do, so I spent my free time talking with Orlando, or unwillingly listening to Professor Lula talking about the Inway, or playing with Meru, etc. Ah, there was also a call from Reagan, again. What is it this time? As usual, Emma. Guided me to the guild master room. Upon entering the room, Reagan was already waiting with a smile on his face. I won't be happy to see a bald middle-aged man smiling at me. By the way, Meru was sleeping atop my head. Oh, you've come. Please sit down, Reagan. Thanks, Wazoo. We sit face-to-face as usual, and then Reagan placed a bag that make a thud sound because of its weight. What is this? Is this the reason that I was called for? Wazoo, yeah. Well, there was also another thing though. Just try to open the bag first, Reagan. When I opened the bag to check its content, a large amount of gold had entered my field of vision. Yuwa. It's 300 gold coins in total. It's all yours, Reagan, huh? Wazoo, it's the reward for the Majin subjugation. 100 gold coins for each body. The compensation is high because they were former A-ranked adventurer, Reagan. I see, Wazoo. Reagan is the only one who knows about those guys' background. There are various mixed feeling in my heart right now. I can't just accept it happily. But Reagan pushed the gold coins while telling me not to worrying too much. I receive it and put the bag next to me. Even so, it's really strange. There should be no magic reservoir around here. I wonder if it just appeared recently. Reagan, even if you ask me. I have never seen such a thing before, Wazoo, I figured. Well, I will put an investigation request at a later time in regards to that. And then. Reagan got closer to me with a good mood smile that I had never seen up to now. Stop that, you're creeping me out. I feel like hitting him unconsciously. Are you free now? Reagan, I don't have any plans in particular, Wazoo. That's good. I will bring you to a good place right now, Reagan, +++++. Chapter 27. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The place you brought me was. A horse-drawn carriage has been prepared in front of the guild. I rode it with Reagan and leave this place. The 300 gold coins also have been stored inside the space-time magic. While paying no attention to Reagan's story about how cute Lula is, I gently put down sleeping Meru on the carriage seat. I wondered where Reagan was about to take me, so I checked the outside from a small window. Casino, theater, and tavern were scattered around. This is a red light district for sure. It's the first time I come to such a place. My heart is pounding faster. Where is he going to take me? After a while, the horse-drawn carriage stopped in front of a mansion. Surrounded by trees, a mansion is visible from a big and luxurious gate. This is a 2-story building that even bigger and more luxurious than the gate. The road leading from the gate to the palace has also been properly maintained. I lost sense of reality for a moment. Could it be I'm going to meet an aristocrat? But I don't know a thing about etiquette. How about my clothes? I just wore my usual clothes. Will it be all right? This isn't a place as you thought, Reagan. Reagan is uttering a word of denial to me who broke into a cold sweat. Then what is this place? Wazoo, this is the store where a man comes to embrace so-called woman. In addition, this is highest quality one in this city, Reagan. You cheating. Don't involve me, Wazoo, I'm not. The owner of this place was my party member when I was still adventuring. He wants to show his gratitude because you saved the city. Reagan, while I'm still upset at Reagan's word, the horse-drawn carriage stopped in front of a big door of the mansion. I placed Meru atop my head and then we take off from the carriage. Reagan was hitting the door continuously. Oi. It's me, Reagan. I have brought him. Reagan, the door opened, a slender attractive middle-aged man with short brown grizzled hair came to receive us from the inside. He wore a black tuxedo excellently After confirming Reagan's and my presence with his long slit eye, he put on a meek smile. Yo Reagan. You've come early. Because you asked me, of course I can't be late, Reagan. So, the man with a dragon on his head is the rumored hero. He seems ordinary though. What? He tried to intimidate me with a smile. In contrary to his appearance, I can feel a warrior's aura within. Hey, stop it. Garrett. Certainly he looks ordinary, but his strength is the real deal. It won't leave a scratch even if we challenged him together, Reagan. I see. He could receive my intimidation commie. I can't feel the bottom of his strength, so I should believe he defeated Majin with a single blow. I'm Garrett, the owner of this place. Nice to meet you, Garrett. Hi, nice to meet you, Wazoo. Then Garrett.san opening the door wide and invited us to come in. Once inside, we passed a location such as a counter. He guided us to a reception room further in the back. There are no customers since it's not time to open yet. This place should do. I will bring something to drink. Please wait a moment, Garrett. Garrett.san entering the room next to the reception room. There is a staircase heading to the second floor. A large number of doors can be seen from this place. The tables have been arranged in the center of the reception room which make a quiet atmosphere. I lost my composure and felt restless being in the adult space. Before I knew Reagan had sat on a big sofa and chuckled while seeing my situation. What is this? Could it be it's your first time coming to such a place? Reagan, that's. Wazoo. I sat next to Reagan with a sulky face. Meru on my head had woken up because I keep looking around restlessly. Seeming interested with the reception room, she flew around the room with a pitter-patter. Don't tell me, you didn't have any experience. Reagan. Wazoo. I averted my eyes at Reagan's question. I mean. I'm not popular. Arya had betrayed me. When I confessed to Sirona.san, she turned me down. Ha. I see. Well. How should I put this? Someday you can do it. Don't worry. Okay. Reagan, please stop with the poor consolation. I feels like crying now. What is this? Somehow the air is strange. Garrett.san appeared from the room with a sake bottle. After he placed a glass in front of us he filled it with sake. TL. I think there is no need to explain it but just in case you didn't know. Sake is Japanese liquor mainly made from rice. Ask Google for more details. So, what are you talking about? Garrett, he said so while pouring sake in his glass. Please don't bring it up. I hide my face with both hands. Well, that's. This guy told me it's the first time he's come to such a shop. And. He has no experience. Also. Reagan, how old are you? Garrett, 17 years old, Wazoo, 15 years old is already an adult by law. There is no problem, okay it's a service on me, Garrett, Wazoo, oh. It's not bad, right? Reagan, ha. Wazoo, wah. Wait a minute. Ha. Here. Right now. What should I do? My heart isn't ready. That's an interesting story. Shall I become your partner then? That I was surprised to suddenly hear a woman's voice. She was coming down the stairs from the second floor slowly. Proofreader. Truffle ****. If you have any suggestion or finding fault in my translation feel free to tell me.